good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. That's right, it is Monday, the last Monday in November. It is the 28th. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Lord knows I did. It was like a 3-day marathon at my sister's house in Dix Hills. Bobby's going to put up a picture of the familia around the huge island. There's some of them. Yeah, it was like a huge buffet. It was great, and we had a blast. There were 30 of us, and my good friend, Bobby Lacera, friend, owner of Paradise Studios, actually joined me, and it was great having Bobby there. And my sister was like, did he have enough to eat? Did he have a good time? And I said, yes, he did. And it was great. And, yeah, so it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's what it was all weekend. I've never been back for the 3-day marathon. I usually just stay home. But I was like, you know, my dad's up from Florida, my mom's here, and I wanted to really spend the 3 days with my parents. And that's really why I went back. Sunday was laundry and football and Christmas decorating. So that's what I did all weekend. So I really hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The weather was beautiful. Like it was like 52, 53. It was like perfect. So we're hoping that the weather's the same next year when my daughter gets married the day before Thanksgiving. But listen, enough of me. I'm going to get to my guest. He is a writer. He's a producer. He's an actor. And we met recently. We have a lot of mutual friends. We're friends on Facebook, but we met mutually on a set. I am with Frank Mancuso.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
Well, I'm so happy that you're able to join me.
Yeah, not a problem. Like I said, I was actually free today, especially with my busy schedule.
Yeah, you're very, very busy man. Very, very busy man. So you're originally from Albany, New York. That's where you were born and raised.
I was born and raised. Went to Christian Brothers Military Academy.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And then you went to the College of St. Rose, right?
Yep.
And when you were a kid.
Actually, do you know we're called Rosebuds?
Rosebuds.
Do you know who else went there? Jimmy Fallon.
Really?
Yeah, he's considered a rosebud.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yes.
I like that. I'm writing it down because when I went to go see Jimmy's show,
because I went up to him.
They were asking trivia questions about him.
And I said to him, and I said, I'm a rosebud. He goes, you went to St. Rose? I said, yeah, in between the break of the show and stuff, yeah.
That's great. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So as a kid, though, tell me what you aspired to be when you grew up. Like, what was in your soul?
Basically, I did. I wanted to become an actor. Who I fell in love with was Sylvester Stallone. He was my idol.
Okay.
I took the kids, my nieces and nephews, we'd go to the movies and
Yeah.
saw Rocky, and I said,
Yeah.
I want to be an actor. And I remember my uncle, when I was about 12 years old, he said, you can be anything you want, you just have to be, have perseverance, you just got to keep going, and don't worry about the rejections. I mean, I was rejected
Oh, please.
so many times as an actor.
Yes.
As you know,
Yes.
yourself, as I read on
Yes.
your biography,
Yeah.
that
Oh, you read mine on
you-
IMDb?
that you got denied, that you weren't Italian enough
I
for
didn't
Godfather.
look Italian enough for The Godfather.
And yet I went to audition for Godfather 3,
Right.
even though I'm full Italian, speak Italian, my whole
Yes,
family's off the
yes,
boat.
yes.
I was told I wasn't Italian enough because I didn't have the cuisine hair look.
The cuisine DA
Yes,
back then.
I didn't have that
Really?
look. So basically,
Oh
even though
my
I spoke fluent
gosh.
Italian and everything else, I was not Italian
Isn't that
enough.
crazy? It's so crazy. But yes, there are a lot more no's than yeses in this industry, as we know. So basically, you moved to the city
Yeah, in New York City.
and you
actually.
studied at HB Studios.
Yes, I studied with Bill Hickey and Mike. I forgot Mike's last name, but I studied under Bill Hickey,
Yeah.
which was a real opportunity. And what was even best, that I actually got to work on the movie that they did. I can't even think of the damn movie. My mind's blank.
Which one? Was it the very, very first one you did?
With no, the
Okay.
very first movie I got my SAG card was Apology with Leslie Ann
Right, well,
Warren.
that's what,
Yeah,
1986.
1986. But
Leslie Ann Warren.
yes.
She played Cinderella.
Yes.
I love her.
But I got to meet Bill Hickey, like I said, and it was the Italian movie with Angela. What's her name? I can't even think of it. I was paid $10 a day as a background extra with cold sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Cold sandwiches.
That's funny.
But it was worth it. I mean, when I look back now, you look back now, it was paying your dues.
Oh,
As
yeah.
an actor,
Oh,
like I
yeah,
said,
absolutely.
until the whole thing was when you got your SAG card, which
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Apology, whereas where I got my SAG card,
Right.
I actually got my AFTRA card because that was a separate union back then.
Yes, it was. Before they merged.
It was actually on a soap, and I got a speaking part.
Which soap?
I think it was it Search for Tomorrow? One of those shows that was done here in New York.
Yeah.
Back in, wow,
Yeah,
I'm
All
really
My
telling
Children, One Life to Live. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those shows. And
I was on the set of All My Children.
I did 2 days, and I was a principal. And I got
Nice.
to, as a burglar, I broke into one of the main
That's what I was
characters'
going to say. Either you
actors.
play a cop or you play a bad guy.
Well, that was it. But here's the funny part. When later on, a lot of these casting directors saying, you don't look like a cop. And I'm like, how do you tell me I don't look like a cop when I'm a real one?
Right,
I mean,
right,
that was
right.
my two biggest things. Like
Right.
Stallone
That's
said in
so
Tulsa
funny.
King that he could never get cast as a gangster. My biggest thing was I wasn't an Italian enough.
Right.
And I didn't look like a cop.
Right,
But
right.
yet here I was a real one the whole
Well,
time.
that's what happened. You took some time off from acting and
Yeah.
you became a court officer,
Yep.
right? You worked for the NYCPD,
That was
correct? New York City Police Department?
Yes, that was with the Mount Vernon Police Department. Then,
Oh, okay.
Then I worked for the NYPD.
Okay.
Yep.
So you were court officer for Mount Vernon.
Yep.
And then you went to New York City
Police Department. Yep.
and you worked your way up to a deputy sheriff?
Then I switched over to the sheriff's office
Okay.
and became a deputy sheriff.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you put in your time.
Yep.
And then you retired in 2014.
Yes.
And now you get pension.
Yes.
And you say, yes, I got something to pay the bills and I
Thank
can
God.
go act.
Yes, and that's what gave me the motivation was to get back into the business.
Yeah.
Basically to follow my dream, what I originally moved to New York
NYC
City.
for, yeah.
Yeah, that was
no,
like I said.
I get
We
it.
all come, to New York City to follow your dreams.
Bobby's got a pic. Bobby, want to put up that pic of him in uniform? I love a man in a uniform. Go ahead, throw that up. There you are.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was at an officer's funeral because I was part of the ceremonial unit.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, but like I said, I was very honored
Yeah.
to do that, and
Yeah.
it was part of a privilege to be part of that unit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did 17 years with the sheriff's office and stuff.
Right, right.
And I did my time. I was there during 9/11,
Yeah, you were actually down at 9/11.
and I was also there when the plane crashed during the Rockaway,
Wow.
carrying out bodies on that
Yes,
one as well,
yes.
which was kind of rough. So yeah. So
Wow, so you've seen a lot.
I've seen a lot.
In all the years that you served, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
By the way. And then you worked for Madison Square Garden for 25 years.
Yes, I've seen everything and everything.
I mean, you've seen every concert, you've seen every game. I can't imagine.
I was there when they were doing roller derby
Wow.
back in the garden, and they were doing the bull riding inside and stuff, and they were doing the bike.
I remember like the
things.
monster cars.
The
and
monster
stuff.
cars. I was
Remember
there
back
when
then?
that. Yeah, I was an event supervisor for 23 years, and I was a security officer for 2 years.
Wow.
So I worked there from 1985 to 2010, and pretty much met everybody and everybody in the business.
I can
every
imagine.
sports legend,
Music legend.
music people, everybody.
Yeah,
Actors,
now Billy
everybody
Joel's
else.
there once a month.
Yes,
right?
I heard,
With his residency
Yes.
going on, which is pretty cool. And then you also were personal bodyguard to a lot of celebrities as well. And I think we have a pic of you and Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
That Bobby can throw up, and you can tell me, God, how long ago that was, and
He was actually,
and where that was.
that was at the Garden. He would.
Was it at the Garden?
Yes, because they were coming to Madison Square Garden. A lot of the celebrities came there for the big boxing matches.
Ah, okay.
They were buried. Danny DeVito.
Bobby, you got that one? Hello? Okay.
I guess he's not.
I guess he went to the Bacauza. I don't know where he
Anyway,
went.
but otherwise,
it up.
I worked for Joe Cirillo back in the day. Through,
Okay.
There it is. There
It is.
That's
There's you and Michael.
That's Michael. I was escorting him out of the Garden to basically get into his limo.
Right, right.
Basically, like I said, we used to. All the celebrities for boxing.
Boxing was big.
They were big. They were every celebrity.
I just
everybody-
had on Danny Schiavone.
Okay.
And Danny is a professional boxing referee.
Oh, okay.
Who works all over.
I seen it all from the
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
All the wrestlers take care of The Rock. I used to always do the overtime at the end to make sure
Wow.
they didn't get bothered and stuff. But like I said, I worked for Joe Cirillo at
Yes,
Film World
Joe.
Security.
We're going to get you on the show, Joe.
Yes, Joe, we're going to get you on. I told her all about you. He's the man that started me in the business because I used to work personally for Frank Sinatra when he came in
What?
to the Waldorf
What?
Astoria.
Wow.
Back in the day in the 80s.
Wow.
And worked for several celebrities on sets, like Al Pacino, William
Yes.
Hurt, Jason Priestley, everybody. I mean, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know? But like I said, I did that for a couple of years, but basically I had a little bit of a conflict between the two jobs, and unfortunately I had to stop working with Joe for that reason.
Okay.
Because I couldn't fit it into my schedule. Always, I was
Well, you know what it
basically had
is?
no time
I mean,
to sleep.
You know, like I know, is especially when you're acting, you have to be ready.
Yes.
Like at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
And actually, I just got offered a job, a real job.
No.
A real job in the real world, working every day between these certain hours for a friend of mine who's an accountant. And I said, Peter, I appreciate it. I really do. I said, but it's like being a doctor. I'm on call.
Yes.
And if I have to be in Manhattan tomorrow, I have to be in Manhattan tomorrow, and I can't leave you high and dry.
That's true.
So I appreciate the offer, but no thank you.
Well, see, that was one of the problems while I was working both jobs.
Yes.
I had to turn down a lot of jobs because I couldn't go to the auditions and everything else. So
Right.
basically, that's
Yeah.
why when I retired, my wife says, well, now you got to go get a job. And I'm like,
I don't
no.
want you home.
Well, no, then that's what I said. I said, I want to pursue my acting career again. And then
Right.
I worked on a TV show called Elementary. And
We're gonna wait. We're gonna take our first quick break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we're gonna talk about his TV, a movie career.
There you go.
So many more other than Elementary. So stay right there. We'll be right back after this. Don't go away.
Well, hi there, Teresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Teresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. Thank you for joining me tonight. I want to give some shout outs to Ann and Nikki and everybody for watching. Please like the show, please share it. Hey, Tea Time is on every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Channel 20 for people who live on Long Island and get Optimum. We're on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard. And I'm excited because my friend Frank Mancuso is here. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. And we're talking about his now movie and TV career. And yes, you were on Elementary, and you were also in New Amsterdam. You did Gotham. You had a
Yes.
scene with Jada Pinkett Smith,
Yes.
which was awesome. And then you did
thank you.
Mysteries of Laura, and you had a scene with Deborah Messing, which was
Yep.
really cool.
Thank you.
It's like you're standing opposite them, and it's like, do you pinch yourself every now and then and go, wow, this is really happening?
No, because being at the Garden, being around
It ki-
celebrities,
yeah, I was
being
gonna say,
around
kinda
celebrities
like-
all my life, I was
yeah,
like, everybody
numb-
used to ask me
yeah,
that.
it's
I'm
like
like
numb
one of
to
those,
it.
like everybody said, oh, can you get this guy's autograph? I would love to have this. To me, I was like, I couldn't bother.
Yeah,
that's
no,
why.
yeah, no,
That's why
yeah.
my bosses love me, because I wasn't really
Right.
into them.
Starstruck, I get it. Yeah, I
you know,
totally
I've been
get it.
around celebrities my whole life,
Right,
pretty much.
right.
You know,
So it's like old hat.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
So for me to be around all these different people, the only one, like I said, I think I would be in awe if I ever met Sylvester Stallone. But
Wow.
but
I know,
pretty
he's
much.
in-
But
yeah.
I've met everybody from every singer. You know, I used to go to even some of the after parties, you know, at the clubs and stuff with them
Uh-huh.
back in the day, which was pretty cool, crazy.
I'm sure.
But like I said, when I worked on Elementary, that's where I met Chris Adams, my partner.
Okay.
And we did a nice scene. We were working a scene with the principal
Yeah.
and on a drug deal. Of course, the scene got cut. What else is new?
Editing floor.
And you
It
know that it's on the
happens.
floor.
Yeah.
So Chris reached out to me one day because we hit it off and said, hey, I got this script. What do you think? And I said, I loved it. And I says, what do you think about doing it? And I says, let's do it ourselves.
Okay.
So that's...
Now, what was the now you wrote 10 screenplays.
Right.
So, and I have them here, but I want to ask you, which one was your very first one, your baby?
Oh, the very first one is Stain.
Okay. Okay. I thought so, but
Yes.
I wanted to double check
Stain
with you.
stands for Special Tactics or Narcotics Enforcement.
Okay.
And who helped me write that a little bit? Was Joe Cirillo.
Really?
Well, because this story is based on something. This is 1989, by the way.
Okay.
I reached out to Joe since he was being a former NYPD cop.
Right.
And he sent me out to a gentleman named Joe Lisi, who was also an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He happened to be a captain in narcotics. And I got to go down to 1PP, and I got to interview Joe about how narcotics works. So I ended up writing this the story about
That
two.
stands for One Police Plaza, by the
Yes.
way. Just letting everyone. I was auxiliary police. I was an
Oh,
auxiliary
I didn't know
police
that.
officer.
Oh, I didn't
yes,
know that.
I was back in
okay.
the 80s for
Okay.
111 precinct in
Okay.
Bayside.
See, now I worked in the 115. Okay, so we were both queens.
Yes.
So basically, Joe gave me the tip. So I basically came up with this story about how two former military guys, because they both were in the military, and Joe served in Korea, and Joe Lisi, I believe, was later on.
Right.
And basically, a story about two former military guys become cops.
Okay.
And then how the story goes that basically his partner works for the DEA. He's killed.
Okay.
And now it's him and his team go after the cartel and everybody else. And it's doing great. It's won multiple awards. It actually won Best Action
Speaking
Adventure
about
at the
awards,
Las Vegas International
hello.
Film Festival.
You've won over 100 awards.
Actually, I'm up to almost 200.
All right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Over almost 200.
Yes, I'm getting there.
Through the film festival circuit.
Yes, yeah.
And you have a plethora here, which is amazing, because you said you wrote all of these within 3 years. Is
Yes,
that true?
3 years.
Madonna me.
I know. Some I wrote in a couple of weeks.
All right, so let's talk about the one is the most sentimental and closest to your heart, which is about your dad.
Oh, you know this.
Okay.
You know, especially as an Italian.
Okay. Now,
You got me there.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you
You're
did.
getting a little verklempt. I
Yes.
know you are, because I got so touched when I read about it. And everyone has a story.
Yes.
And my parents were born here, but my grandparents weren't. And when the video camera first came out in the early 80s, my dad sat down my grandfather, and in Italian, my grandfather speaking about his life and about his brothers and how they're all fishermen in, because I'm Sicilian.
Okay.
So we're from Messina and Catania. And and then my father took it to Italy to show his brothers, and they're talking back to him in Italian, and my father saying, no, scucce, no, he can't hear you. He could just,
Yes.
I'm going to videotape you and take it back to the States. And so tell me about non scordare, I'm not going to say it right.
Okay,
Non
it's
scordare di
non
me.
scordare di
Non
me.
scordare di me.
Which means don't forget me.
Don't forget me, correct.
Basically, it was a story about my father.
Right.
Which basically came to me while I was driving one day. And I wrote that in 3 days. Basically, it's a story about how my father was orphaned at the age of 12 years old.
He was orphaned.
Right.
Yes.
His parents had died.
With his sisters.
Basically, my grandmother died first in 1934.
Wow.
Then my father's father died in 1936.
Right.
So he was the oldest with 4 younger sisters.
Yes.
And then what happened was that him and the 2 older sisters remained with one of the aunts.
Right.
And then the 2 younger ones were sent and then adopted and stuff. So that was the story. And then him, basically at 17, lived on his own, was drafted into the Italian World War II.
Yes, yes.
And basically then a lot of the Italian men, they were just kids. They were scared.
Yes.
Didn't want to fight with the Germans. And then what they did was they fled and they would travel at night to get away from being captured by the Germans. And basically, eventually met my wife. Yeah, my mother, and stuff. And I added the story. It was more of an arranged marriage, but my father.
It's a short, correct?
It's a short.
It's a short. And it won Best Feature Script.
I've won 33 awards.
Along with other.
Yes.
Well, that's one of many accolades.
One of many accolades. I've won 33 awards on this script alone.
Yeah.
Because it touches the heart.
And it's a beautiful picture that you put up
And
of,
I
the,
would
of the family.
I would love this to be done completely in Italian.
Oh, yes.
Filmed in Italy.
Oh, yes.
And I would love to go back to Calabria to see.
How many times have you been to Italy?
Only once. I know.
Never been. It's on my bucket list.
No, I've been
Dying
there, and
to
that's
go.
actually one of my goals.
Nice.
Within the next couple of years to go back.
'Cause that's where you're from, Calabria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're from
Yeah.
Chicala. Basically, we're both Southern
Right.
and stuff, and we
Yeah.
speak the Southern
Yeah, we do. We speak the dialect.
Yes.
It's true. This is so true. But I mean, it's almost like it's
It's a
part,
touch
it's part
of
of your
family.
it's part of your history.
Yes, it is. It's part of the history.
And it's really just it's preserving that. It's like
Yes.
just preserving all the
I am
memories.
big. I am
and-
big into the family research.
Yes,
I do a lot of the
yes.
history, and I track everybody down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny here. You want to hear a good joke? I recently got notified by 23andMe that my DNA.
Yeah.
That I have 7% Neanderthal in me, and I'm like, I was like, no. I said, you guys made a mistake. They go,
That's
what do you mean?
funny.
I said, everybody knows me. If you look at my back, and when the guys at the gym, because they call me Silverback, I
Right.
says I'm a little bit more like 25% Neanderthal.
That's funny.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
So everybody calls me Silverback.
So after that or before that, because you did Stand Your Ground,
Yep. That was, I believe, the last one.
was it?
Yes, I'm correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I wasn't sure the order of these. Okay.
I know.
And then you did The Promise, and The Promise was a horror,
Yeah, it's actually a sci-fi horror.
a sci-fi
with
horror.
werewolves.
Yes, I know.
Yes, that's the one I wrote with Chris Adams.
Right,
And that's
right.
actually done very well. We were actually top 5 at the Las Vegas International Film Festival out of almost 3,000 to 4,000 entries.
Yeah, I think we have a pick, Bobby, at one of the that was for I think Blue Iron, which we're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
talk about. What about the Devil's Playground?
Oh, that's one of our news productions. And
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
That's we filmed that, and that's going to be hopefully released next month. And that's basically a typical, young teenager campground little
Little
stories.
campy. Yeah.
Yes, stories
What was the out of all of them? Because then you also did the Delusional PA.
that I wrote as well, and that's another big time winner.
Yeah, and then you did Severed Ties.
Severed Ties.
Which
That's
also
about family.
is a crime.
That's
right?
that's a crime story. It's a family thing.
It's a family
That's true.
thing.
It's true.
Is it based on true?
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yes.
I love true stories.
yes.
I love stuff that's based on
So,
true
matter of fact,
facts.
I'll tell you what. I'll send you North Scordati so you can actually read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you did Q10 Dinah?
Oh, that was one of the very first screenplays that I wrote that was about COVID.
Really?
Yes, that's a COVID story. That is Q10 Diner stands for quarantine,
Quarantine.
10 survive
Okay.
at the diner.
Wow.
It's basically
Well, if you're going to get stuck, you might as well get stuck where there's food.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The tagline is fear itself may kill you. Because everybody...
So you don't get to eat.
Well, it's a question of does everybody turn?
Oh, okay.
Who's left inside the diner?
Got it. Tell me about Ava.
Ava was basically a story that I wrote of a white privileged kid. Basically, him and his rich kids always getting away with, stalking on women.
Okay.
And this one girl, this Spanish girl, Ava, stands up to him because she's into martial arts and everybody else, and the will to fight. And I can't go into the twists and stuff, but it gets a little crazy. And
Where do all these ideas come from?
so I don't know. A lot of them just came to me. But the one good thing, one of the things that basically gave me a lot of ground was my background in law enforcement, and also since I worked with evidence and property, and I was also a court officer, so I knew the court procedures when I do the court stuff, when I did the crime stuff, all that stuff. It kind of basically.
My daughter's working for Suffolk County.
Oh, girl, well, that's great. And let me tell you, real life experiences. Even as an actor, I tell them bring that out into the character because it really is what makes the character real. And that's basically for me having all these lifetime experiences working at the Garden, being a real celebrity with bodyguards, seeing different things of the world and stuff. And actually, my imagination, my wife, it drives her crazy because I'll get up at 2 a.m. She goes, "Where are you going?"
You got
I have an
something
idea.
Popped in your head.
I have an idea.
I keep a paper and pen
no,
near.
I can't do that.
No?
I,
You have to
I
totally
try.
get up?
I get up and I'm typing.
Okay. All
and
right.
she'll go, Frank, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, Annie, I just killed.
I'm on a roll.
I'm on a roll. You know
I gotta
why?
get it out.
I made a mistake once, and I told people, I said, if you're a writer, if you have an idea and your scene is rolling in your head, don't go to sleep because I did that once, and guess what?
It left.
I couldn't remember. It left. I couldn't
remember.
I couldn't
as
remember.
As fast as it
10%.
jumps in, that's as fast as it jumps out.
Exactly.
I know. Believe me, I know.
I've been able to tie loose ends of connection in between the scenes of how this happened because of that.
You know what I got to tie? I got to tie another loose end and go to our next break.
Okay,
but
great.
don't go away. More when we come back with Frank.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Teresa Canastraci Tea Time with Teresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Teresa on Facebook, Tea Time with Teresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. I am with Frank Mancuso. He is an actor. He's a writer, major writer.
Thank you.
And a producer. We were talking about what you have written, and we were talking about Q10 Diner and then Ava. Tell me about a glimpse of my life through through my eyes. Yeah.
That is actually my autobiography.
Is it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Love it.
I wrote basically my life growing up to what I've done, who I met.
Cool.
Basically into the thing. Yeah.
Now, and what was the shortest to film and what was the longest to film?
Well, these are more of the screenplays. The ones that are filmed was Shift,
Right.
Blue Iron,
Right.
which was on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
And basically, I have good news for that.
Well, Blue Iron?
Blue Iron, yes.
Bobby, I think you got a picture with Frank standing there. I think it's got the Blue Iron in the background. I think this was at one of the...
That was the premiere of Blue Iron, yes.
Oh, it was the premiere.
Yes.
He's standing in front. No, that's not it. We're going to put that up next. No, it's him by himself.
I'm by myself. In a nice suit.
All right. I could have swore I sent it, but anyway, it's a nice suit, and you're standing there, and it
So
says
basically,
Blue Iron behind you.
Right, so that was on Amazon Prime as a 4-episodic series.
Right.
But after 1 year, we decided to take it down, and we decided to do a new director's cut, make it a movie with some scenes that were not in it.
Oh,
So we
that were
edited it back,
that
and
were
now
edited out, and you put them back
we
in.
put them back in because they wanted it as a series. So now, basically, Blue Iron has been,
Is this an exclusive?
yes.
Are we
this is an
announcing? We're
exclusive.
announcing an exclusive here on
You're
Tea
getting an
Time.
exclusive on Tea Time.
Okay, go ahead.
So Blue Iron is now picked up by Amazon Prime,
Woohoo!
Tubi,
Nice.
Woku, and Flex West.
Nice.
Streaming. So it's got picked up by 4.
I'll be watching it on
streaming services.
Tubi.
Thank you. It's
Yes.
a biker series.
Yes,
I play a
I
biker,
know.
not a cop.
Yes.
So which is good. I play Kook, the VP of the
Yes.
biker club.
I
Yes.
was going to say kook. Yep. But it's funny because you do. Do you find yourself getting typecasted? Because I know that you've played cops and you've played bad guys.
Yes. I mean, it's kind of that. There's really not a lot of
I
roles.
mean, I say throw on a suit and you can play a lawyer. Hello.
Absolutely.
You know.
I can play a doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like I said, I could also probably play a lawyer.
Yes.
I love law.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, it is. You know, nobody takes me as the aggressive, over abused father or stuff like that. No. I'm a gentle bear. What can I tell you?
In 1988, you did Internal Affairs.
Yes, that was with Richard Crenna.
Yes.
That was a CBS made for movie, which was
Mm-hmm,
awesome. Got to shoot guns and got a line at the end, which is Vamonos, which was nice. Playing basically a
No
bad
aquí,
cartel.
just vámonos.
Vamonos aquí. That was
Okay,
it. Yes.
all right, just
yes,
checking.
you know that. Yes.
Okay.
So that was pretty good to work with Richard Crenna. You know, like I said, that was he had worked with Stallone. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, I had worked on a Kojak.
That's cool.
The Price of Justice in 1988 as well.
Wow.
Got to Telly was a regular at the Garden.
Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas was a regular at the Garden. He was a big tennis fan.
Really?
Oh, he was a big tennis. He was always there. He was. Let me tell you, him and his brother were really down to earth people.
Yeah.
Really liked them and stuff like that. So, like I said, I got to meet them and stuff.
And then in 2006, you did The Departed.
Yeah, I actually auditioned. They were looking for big Italian tattooed guys for the jail cell.
So are we saying the tattoos underneath all this,
Yes.
Frank?
Yes. But basically, then what happened was they went Irish.
Really?
They went skinny Irish, and we were all like, "What the hell?"
Wow.
But I got a call from them and said, "Hey, listen, we still liked you. Would you like to come in and do the scene?" And I was like,
Right.
"Absolutely." So I got to work in the scene with what's his name? I can't even. Think
I don't
his
know.
name.
I wasn't there.
No,
it's
my
okay.
mind.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, and
I have brain farts all
so
the
do
time.
I know. So I got to do the scene with him, which
Yeah.
was pretty cool, and I ended up doing that, and I can't complain. Like I said, I've been very lucky with a lot of decent roles. And
So
stuff
did
like
you
that.
find yourself doing a lot more writing during COVID?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like really
for
when you.
some strange reason, I found my knack. You know,
Yeah.
people say if you can't make it one way, try another. And what
Yeah.
I had mentioned to you
Go
earlier,
around the door, go over the door.
my
I
brother
say
always
kick
told
in the
me
door.
as a kid, basically, if you can't go through the door, go around it, dig under it, find another way, find
Yeah,
something that
yeah,
opens.
yeah.
And basically, all of a sudden, even my brother says, he goes, if I'd known that you could have written, you should have started this years ago. But I says, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But then again, I never had time.
That's true. You
And
need the time.
you need the
do
time,
need
and
the
you need
time.
to
And you
not-
also need the motivation and the idea and the creativity and.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely. Because, I mean, people say, did you get writer's block? I said, absolutely. Sometimes I would have to put it away for like a week sometimes. But other than
Yes.
when I came in and all of a sudden it was like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And you're like still on the computer. I'm like, yeah, I did 25 pages.
Right.
It was just like it was flowing.
Yeah. That's the best.
But that's, oh, yeah.
But it's not like that all the time.
No. And like I said,
And a lot of people think it is. It's not.
oh, it's not. It's very difficult. And all that. But after that, you have to go back and reread it because the amount of drafts that I did,
Yeah.
because you find a lot of mistakes, typos, errors. It should have been
Yeah, and then
inserts
sometimes
and
it's
stuff.
that's what I
You
was
have
going to
follow
say.
a lot of
Sometimes
the format.
it's not as it doesn't flow, and you
It
have
doesn't
to
flow.
rearrange.
So you're constantly rereading to make sure that it makes sense, and then go back into it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've been very lucky and I've been very blessed with the time that during COVID it basically kept me in.
Yeah.
And after a while, just watching TV, and I was like, you know what, I can do this.
What about self-tapes?
I hate doing those.
So do I. So do I.
I hate
So do I.
self-tapes.
So do I. I like auditioning in person.
So do I.
The only thing is that they were saying, oh, well, self-tapes, you could do it until you really like the one you like and, submit that one. And...
But I find the interaction is what makes me.
Yes, me too.
I find that having a conversation with somebody to do it, I mean, like I said, I would have friends or my wife read.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. I can't.
not.
I
I
can't
know.
get that
It's not.
connection.
Yeah.
Because I'm that type of person like Italians. I don't know what it is. We talk with our hands. I need to, look in your eyes. I need to say the line.
Yeah.
It gives me those moments of pause.
Yes, yes.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It's basically being able to react when there's nobody there. Even though it's part of the the trade that you learn. It's
not the same.
great, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not. Bobby, you want to put up some pictures that we didn't show yet? And we'll have... Okay, go ahead, throw them up and not the one of Frank and myself. Well, we'll put that up later when we talk about where we met. But yeah, you could put up the other one. That one. Tell us about that one.
Oh, this is when I worked on Gotham.
Yes.
This was season 2.
Okay.
When I get killed off, I was with Ben McKenzie and the other gentleman. They were really great, down to earth guys.
Yeah, they seem that way.
Yeah, like I said, this was
You all dirtied up.
well, I was basically, stretched and my throat was slit and everything else. I was killed and
Yeah.
I was hogtied and everything else and stuff.
Yeah.
But this was season 2 because I did 3 episodes in season 1. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did 3 episodes.
It's nice when they keep calling you back.
Oh, it was great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, especially the paycheck.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
but
nice.
That was good. And then...
and then what's the other one you have? Huh? That's it? Oh, the baseball. Let's talk about baseball.
There
Let's
you
throw
go.
that up. Let's throw that up. That is with you and Tom Seaver.
Yeah, that was at Tom Seaver's
Tell us
300th
about
game
that.
at Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
Basically, my assignment was when...
That's you with the mustache?
Yes. Yes.
No goatee.
No goatee.
Just a stash.
That's when I had hair then.
Okay, well, you're wearing a hat, so it's
Well,
not
yes.
like we can tell.
Yes.
But
I worked with the local 177, which was the security at Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
Basically, we were officers, and we were working that day at Yankee Stadium.
Tom Seaver.
So basically, when they said as soon as the game ends,
Yeah.
my job was to go wherever he goes.
Right.
Stay with him.
Well, because back then people could run on the field.
Run on the field. So like we had all the guys go to their assignments, but my assignment was to run right where with Tom and stuff. Because when I worked at Yankee Stadium, I was assigned to the press room.
Okay.
So I basically
Yes.
got to meet
Yes.
Yogi and
Yeah.
everybody else, all those guys down there that you talk about all the time and stuff.
Yes.
But I got to meet a lot of them and stuff
Yeah,
down there.
well, tomorrow night we'll be at the Yogi Berra Museum, and I know one of his sons is going to be there. I'm not too sure who.
That's great.
But get back to Shift for a minute, that you play Agent Logano.
Yes.
Talk about Shift.
Or
Because that's in post, right?
Post, yes. Matter of fact, I'll give you a second exclusive.
Oh, we got 2 exclusives here on Tea Time.
So Shift is a sci-fi horror film that
Right.
Chris and Alan Boucher came up with the idea of basically a combination of where the vampire, whoever she bites,
Right.
takes over that. She can take that persona.
Okay.
So basically, it was a little torture thing as a young Vanessa when she's kidnapped and becomes a lab rat. So basically, the tagline for that is "Be careful what you create because it might come back and bite you." So that was the thing. But the Shift exclusive is that Shift is actually now playing on Amazon Prime.
Woohoo!
And it's also got picked up by Tubi as well.
I can watch it on TV.
And also on
Awesome.
Momo2.
That's great.
No, Momo2 streaming service.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's another new one. So it's got picked up by 3 streaming services already.
Nice.
But it's actually now playing on Amazon Prime.
That's
so
great.
I'm very happy, like I said, that we have 2 of our films already going out there. And like
Yeah.
I said, our
Blue
third...
Iron,
Yep.
Shift.
And our third one, Devil's Playground, will be released, hopefully completed by the end of this month. And hopefully next month we'll have our premiere. And hopefully I'll have good news for that again.
Oh, that's cool.
I love being...
That's
it's funny
exciting.
because as an actor, I see,
And
now as a writer...
you've cast a lot of people
Yes.
that I know.
Yeah.
you know.
And I will get you on one of
Which is-
ours.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes.
I didn't say that to.
No, no,
I
I
didn't
know
say
that.
that for that.
But
But
it's-
I was looking and I'm like, oh, there's Danielle and there's so and so
Well,
and
see,
there's so and so,
that's-
and I'm like, oh, how cool is that?
That's how Chris and I believe in loyalty. And we find that once we find good people and good actors,
Yeah.
like Will Mercado basically introduced me to you guys.
Will is great.
Will,
Yeah,
he is
that's where I
awesome.
met everybody.
Right.
that
So
he-
basically,
yeah.
you know, I learned a lot from. See,
Love
and this
him.
is one of the things that you have to do. You got to thank people. You know, like John Marola and Ralph. They really
Yeah.
brought me in, and I thanked them.
Yeah,
and Will,
yeah.
I thanked Will.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's good connections that we have to, as actors and struggling actors, we all have to work together.
It's true.
To
it's true. Because
make
if
it together.
if we all include ourselves in everything,
Yes.
we'll all be doing something.
Right, and that was one of the things that, you know, when I sat down with Ralph and John, and I said, listen, I said, whatever services I can help with you, I'll definitely, you know, help you
Yeah.
guys out. And that was one of the things. So we started reaching out, working with certain people, and certain people are just good actors.
Right.
And
right. And you
they're,
want
and they're not getting their breaks.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we did. You know, we didn't
Yeah.
get our breaks.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
So we believe
it's
in loyalty.
coming.
It's
It's
coming.
coming.
Well, no,
It is.
that's what
It's
we look
coming.
at it. So we felt that, you know what? We do our own casting. I work with Jerry Costa on the Devil's Playground. She helped me out with Get Me Two People. But basically, otherwise, we do our own casting. We let people audition, but a lot of the people we bring back.
Right. Because
We-
you've worked with them before and you know that they're reliable
they're
and they know their
professional.
craft.
Exactly. They
and
know their craft.
That's the whole thing is when you work with someone.
Yeah, like
you
I said,
know.
we have Danielle. She worked in Blue Iron.
Yes.
She worked in that, and I put her in as the voice
Yeah.
in the Devil's Playground.
Really?
Yes, I needed a little.
I love
voice.
Danielle. Danielle's
Yes.
great.
And
Danielle's
then we
great.
brought in Grace Boza. We had her in Shift, and
Yeah.
she's also in the Devil's Playground.
I'm gonna have her on my show when she's
Oh,
available
Danielle?
on
Absolutely.
when she's available on a
Yes,
Monday night.
I know, but she's great. So, like I said, we believe in bringing the same people back.
Yeah.
If we can. I mean,
It's
if they fit the
nice.
characters.
Well, that's the whole
Well,
thing.
see, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Delusional PA is also a young cast. It's basically about. Okay, now you worked movie sets. The PA is the production assistant.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How are they treated?
Oh, well.
Like crap.
Yeah,
right.
not very nice.
Not very. So guess what? I'm going to give a little tidbit.
Okay.
The Delusional PA is the production assistant wanting to kill the cast and the director.
Ooh.
But with a little twist. I can't go into more than that,
I like
but that's
that.
what that is.
Well,
That's what that means, the Delusional PA.
That's
Is
great.
it delusional or is it real?
That's great. It's not Pennsylvania, people.
Is it
Has
real?
nothing to do with
Like I said,
Pennsylvania.
is it real or is it not?
Well, that's the whole thing. That's what we have to find out. And
There
you
you
know
go.
where I have to go? I got to take my last break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. More with Frank Mancuso.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Teresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Teresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bat Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, who's your favorite guinea?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend Doc Gooden, and Sal the Voice Valentinetti, and John York from General Hospital, and Gina from Rescuing Families. You know, that's a nonprofit group that actually helps families with disabilities in need. They reconstruct their homes and make them friendly, disability friendly, whether it's a ramp or whatever they need. So I just love everybody. I really do. I love everybody. I'm going to love it on Frank Mancuso right now, who's a writer and producer and actor. And Bobby's going to throw up a picture of where we were on set of the Bensonhurst Boys, and that's where Frank and I actually met in person. Like,
Yes.
I know you, and now
That's
we
right.
get to meet
We
each
finally
other.
get to meet and stuff.
I know, and Danielle was there with us too that day, a mutual friend of ours. Thank you so much, and we had a blast. That was filmed on Long Island. Bensonhurst Boys is John Marola's baby, and Mike and Ralph Bracco, very involved in it, helping write it and produce it, and they brought me on to help cast. And we had a lot of extras that day.
Yes.
And it worked out great. It was it was an overnight shoot, and it was very, very, very long. And I was just happy to help out. That we filmed the pilot. It's going to be edited. And then hopefully, God willing, they're going to film 9 more episodes because
That
they
would
have
be
a
great.
total of 10. And hopefully we'll be back. We will be back in some kind of capacity, way,
Right,
shape,
as
or
Detective
form.
Nico.
Detective Cindy. I don't know. I could play many parts. I've played the mobster's wife, and I've played,
And Teresa.
you know. Hey, listen. Most of these mob shows, let's face it, they are male dominated.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? So I say to
but
them,
I can't get on them.
So I don't listen to me. You should not have a problem
I
with getting
can't
on
get
them.
on. I'm big. I'm Italian.
Listen to me. You put on that little Italian cap, and
That's
you look
what-
like a fisherman from Italy.
Well,
I don't
there you
get
go.
it.
That's why I posted
That's the
why I did
picture.
that scene for Nico, because I knew it was an Italian detective.
That's the picture. But I say to them, they got to have a gobara. They got to have a sister, a mother, a cousin. They got to have some
need
kind
the
of
muscle.
female in there.
I'll beat somebody up with a baseball bat.
Exactly. Well, we used to call it a wood shampoo.
There you go.
Smack upside the
That's
head.
it.
You know what I'm saying? But so that's where we met on Bensonhurst Boys, and we had a great time filming, and just more wonderful things for both of us to come in 2023.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Putting it out into the universe, and I want everyone to follow Frank. He's on Facebook. It's Frank Mancuso, Mancuso, and then on Insta, which is not your name, and I had
No.
to do some detective work myself
Yes.
to try to find it. It's the THE_ Calabrian, so it's CALABRIAN _ kid, and obviously because you're from
The Calabrian
Kid, and that's on Insta. So that's where, follow him, see what's coming out, and it's so exciting, okay, that Blue Iron and Shift are both going to be on Amazon Prime and Tubi, and wherever else Frank is going to announce it. So at least you could see these
But I gave you exclusive.
films. I got an exclusive here on Tea Time. I'm so excited, really. We have like 8 minutes left. And what I also wanted to talk about was how involved are you in the editing process of these? Because I know you have a vision.
Yes.
Okay. And have you directed any of them as well?
I've directed a couple scenes in Blue Iron.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I know when you write, the whole thing is there. It's like a story in your mind. So when it comes to actually editing and or directing or whatever, I mean, how involved do you really get behind the scenes?
I do everything but Chris. Chris does all the editing.
Okay.
But the thing is, he sends me everything.
Right.
And I go through it with a fine comb and nail, and
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
say, this is off, cuts here, scenes here. One of the things I've learned in the last 3 years, because I had to learn the whole business of the back end. I had to learn legal stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Executive producers,
Yes.
what your thing, shooting at different locations, permission, waivers.
Do you ever do ninja filming? I call it ninja filming,
No.
where you're in and out and no one knows you're there.
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, our films take a while, but I had to learn the whole part of the back end of the business.
Yes,
and that's,
yes.
because it's not only casting, but you have to do locations, getting everybody there, catering. I mean, I was the sound guy. I'm the clapper. So you wear many hats.
Yeah,
and you
you
have
do.
to learn all this stuff.
You
but
do.
when Chris and I, like I said, we basically go through everything. He'll say, "What about this?" Oh, one of the things that we're big on is helping musicians. We get
I was going to say original scores.
we get original scores.
Yes.
So like what we did is we got 6 original scores, which won twice in 2 film festivals for best original music,
Wow.
and 1 song took best original song in the low-budget independent films.
Well, you need help with that. Bobby and I know a lot of
Yeah,
musicians.
so basically,
with a lot
and
of
actually, like
original-
here in
Yeah.
Restless in for the shift,
Yeah.
we used my niece's brother-in-law's band called Reckless Streets, and we used them. We put them in our shift.
Nice.
So we every time, and then actually James Gablin, we have him in the Devil's Playground, original music. So we always look for artists who always want to work with us. We get a release from them, basically saying that you're given permission to use
Right,
this, and
right,
we'll put
right,
your
right.
song that we feel that's where it would go match
Where
in the
it
song,
fits.
where it fits and stuff. So I do a little bit of that as well. So you're doing the editing, you're doing the listening, because I have to listen and watch each scene because he'll send clips
Right.
and I'll say, okay, the cuts here. What about here? Can we change Can you go and zoom a little bit tighter? Because, like you said, the vision when you're looking at things, you see how things are, how you want it to actually look the way you wrote it,
Right,
or
right.
Chris writes it and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's what he does and stuff.
So we didn't mention that you ended up in Queens. So you went from Albany to Manhattan. You're in Queens now.
Now I'm in Queens,
You're
yes.
a Queens boy. I grew up in Queens, Bayside, Queens. So, they say you could take the girl out of Queens, but not Queens out of the girl.
No shit.
Yeah, and it's true. It's very, very true. Queens is my first home, and I love it there. I do.
absolutely.
Bell Boulevard, that's like my jam. That's where I go hang out with
Well, I
my
originally
girls.
got married. When I got married, we lived in Astoria.
Where's your wife originally from?
From Queens.
She is originally from
Yeah,
Queens.
from Middle Village.
Oh, she's from Middle Village.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. And how did you meet? Can I ask?
Sure, in a 50s club. We're both into
That's
50s
so
music.
cool.
Yes. And
I
she-
love that stuff.
And she didn't want to have anything to do with me. She was such in a bad mood.
And then you won her over.
And I won her over.
Yeah.
That's it, because I could dance.
I love a man who could dance.
Well,
if you
that's-
could dance, that's
yes.
half the battle.
So that's what happened.
That's great.
So we met. We were both into 50 music. I
That's
actually
great.
asked her to marry me going to a 50s concert. We were
Really?
at a restaurant, yes. Yeah, after the concert on down at the pier.
I have to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, Dave Revels.
Okay.
Dave is in Bat Boy with me.
Okay.
And Dave was with the Drifters
Oh, okay.
and the Persuasions.
Oh, absolutely. I love
Yeah,
oldie music.
I do too.
I grew up with all that stuff.
I do too.
To me, that's
I
the
love
best
it.
music around.
I know. I love
Absolutely.
it. I totally love it.
My
What was your
fav-
wedding song?
Oh,
Come on, it had to be a
no,
50 song, right?
No, believe
Mine
it.
was.
Okay.
What?
No.
Wait a second.
No, I had to compromise on certain things.
Come
But my
on.
favorite band of all time was Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes.
First
Yes.
song I ever bought. I
Okay.
was 7 years old. Was The Worst That Could Happen, 1968.
Great song.
Great song.
What was your wedding song?
I can't. Oh Jesus.
Oh, you are so in trouble.
So right now my mind went
All right,
blank.
mine from my first wedding was the Flamingos.
Okay.
If I Only Have Eyes for You.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. And then the second one was more recent,
Yes.
more recent hit by Firehouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill me.
Yes, you are so in trouble. What's
I've
her
been
name?
married
What's her name?
32
What's her
years.
name? What's your wife's name?
And
And please forgive him.
Yes.
He's having a senior moment. You
Yes,
will
I am.
remind him when he comes home. You married 32 years.
32 years,
That
yes.
was nice. If I stayed with my first husband, it would have been 33 in February.
Oh, okay.
No, 30.
we.
What were we going in? 2023. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
have been 33. Yeah.
Well, like
Where'd
everybody.
you get married?
Basically in Albany.
Okay.
Yeah, we went up there for
Okay.
the family and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
We got married because everybody was up there and stuff.
Well, I figured maybe in Queens because that's where she was from.
No, but this was her second marriage.
Oh,
Her
okay.
second marriage,
All
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that worked out.
Wow.
But yes.
Oh, Anne. Anne.
So. Always and forever.
Oh, classic.
There you
okay.
go. It just came to me.
You're
It's like-
forgiven. I knew it was going to come to you sooner or later, eventually.
Yes, but like I said, we're definitely into the 50s music and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we would go to the 50 clubs called Chevys back in the old days.
I remember Chevy's.
Yes, on East 39th
Yes.
Street. Yes.
Yes, I went there.
Yeah, yeah, we used to
Great
go there. and stuff.
place.
Great place.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is bringing back such memories.
Yeah, but like I said, when I worked the Garden, they used to have all the doo-wop shows.
Yes.
I used to go back and
yes,
go
I
right
used to go to all of them.
Well, no, I used to go right into the dressing rooms and
Well,
I got
that
to
I
meet them
didn't
all.
do, but I did go to a lot of doo-wop shows, and I went to a lot of. I saw Sinatra a lot.
Oh, did you?
When he was at Bally's in AC.
I know.
I used to see him a lot, and when I saw
I know.
him,
I used to. I got to see
you
him.
were probably there.
I was probably there. Well, actually, I was there, and somebody said to me, "How did you get these seats? Who do you know?" And I said, "Don't worry about who I know."
And when he was there, Frankie Valli was there.
Okay.
So I'm not shy, as you can tell. I walked right up to him and I said, "Hello, Mr. Valley, can I get your autograph, please?" And he goes, "Sure. Are you a Jersey girl?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Do I lie? No, don't lie." And he's like, I'm like fumbling around and I pulled out a Bally's matchbook, and he signed the cover of
Well,
the
that's good.
matchbook.
See, like I said, I mean, I was there, but like I told you the story earlier when I was there at the Garden when
Yeah.
Andrea Bocelli was there.
Yeah.
And then Chaz Palminteri, I brought them in the back with
Yeah.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
And Kathy Moriarty.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law and my wife are standing right there, and they're all waiting in line. And like I said, Kathy saying, "Oh, thank you very much for taking care of us and bringing us back and stuff." And,
Right.
and all of a sudden, then she says, "Well, what's your name?" And I said, "Frank Mancuso." And she goes, "Oh my God, my very first boyfriend was Frank Mancuso." And my wife's going to my mother-in-law. She goes, "Son of a bitch, she's hitting on him."
That's funny.
Yes, I know. She always brings that up once in a while and stuff.
Oh.
It was nice. Like I said, I had a great career.
Yeah.
Working there and stuff and meeting some great people and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm
Well,
glad
you know what? This is just the beginning. This is like the next chapter now, where it's gonna take you.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna take us in 26 seconds. We're gonna have to say goodbye, but
Oh, okay.
I just want to thank you for doing this for me. I had a
I
blast.
really had fun.
I'm glad you
Thank
took the
you.
ride from Queens.
Yes.
Frank Mancuso, please follow him on Facebook and Insta. You could see everything on my Facebook page as well. Again, look for Blue Iron and Shift on Tubi, Amazon Prime. I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to watch it this weekend.
Great, thank you.
Listen, everyone, have a great week. Stay safe. Tell everyone you love them. See you next week, everyone. Ciao. Say
Ciao.
goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.